So this is a video format of our blog section, Student Speak. Today, we will
Mhm.
speak to you about your academic journey, your experience
Okay.
as a student, your
Yeah.
way forward plan, research mechanism in selecting your study abroad destination, course, college, and other future plans.
Okay.
This conversation of ours will be uploaded on Avant's YouTube channel, website, and other social media platforms for our student audience.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
So, shall we start, Monica?
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Great. So, firstly, we would like to know something about your academic journey so far.
Okay. So I belong to Jaipur, and my schooling and graduation was done in Jaipur itself. So I completed my BTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering from Jaipur Engineering College and Research Center, Jaipur, Rajasthan, with 79.79% overall.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And if you can also just, highlight about your, higher education journey that you have planned from here on.
Okay, so currently I am working at Accenture as a application development analyst. So I completed my graduation in 2018, and since then it was a campus placement. So since then I'm working with Accenture, and during this period of time, I was thinking of pursuing my masters. So this was the high time because I had that much of experience which is required for a good institute and for a good course, and so I decided to go for masters, and I have decided to pursue masters in engineering management, which is amalgamation of engineering course as well as the management course. So this was very suitable for my profile, so I opted this, and I am going for University of Ottawa, Canada. So my semester will start this September 2021.
Amazing, very cool.
Yeah.
All right, now would request you to share some details about your college, like a small review, in a
Yeah.
review kind of a
Yeah.
format.
Okay, okay. So the college, if I talk about the college ranking, so it is ranked 190 in global ranking, and seventh in Canada. It is ranked seventh. So it is one of the you know uh, best global universities, best public universities, and they offer high quality of education. This is I'm speaking. This is I'm talking on the facts. Like I talk to many alumni who have graduated from there. I search their profiles on LinkedIn, talk to them, and then I decided that yes, I can go for this university.
Perfect. And a little bit about the course, Monica, if you can highlight something.
About what, ma'am?
The course that you'll be
The
pursuing.
course. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it is Masters in Engineering Management. As I mentioned above, it is like the amalgamation of engineering courses as well as the management courses. So if I talk about the engineering courses, there will be like data sciences, business intelligence, which are at boom at present. So this will, give edge to my career. Good learning path, and then a suitable job profile that I always wanted, with technical as well as the management skills. So this is how the course is all designed. The course structure is really nice, and this is it.
Perfect, perfect. And I believe the reason that you are choosing this field is
Mhm.
going to help you to advance in your career aspect
Career,
professionally.
right, right. Because that is my goal. If I can say that the long-term goal, and so I want to be a team leader. I will be leading good people of IT professional under me. So for that, only technical skill is not enough. You need to have that leading skills into yourself, that management skill. So for that purpose, I thought this particular course will help me.
Great. All right. So my
Yeah.
next question will be, what about the research mechanism that you use to figure out this course, this college, that you want to opt for your
Right.
higher education?
Right. So, firstly, that was my dream that I want to settle abroad. So there are many good countries. So like Canada, US, and many others, Europe. So first decision was to choose the country where I want to go. So I research on the basis of that which country I want to go for my further studies. For example, if I talk about the post study permits, I compared about I compared about this for all the countries. Then the expenses, definitely the living cost, the education cost, and what are the permanent residence criteria there, how they choose people. So all these factors were there, which I considered in my mind, and I chose Canada as my country for going further. And then when I decided that I'll be going to Canada, then I searched for the. I already mentioned about the course that I always wanted to on a course which is, which give me technical as well as the management skills. So I started searching about the courses which are designed to, give this proper structure that I want. So I started searching about the courses, and then I went to the university websites, like the top universities which offer these courses. So if I talk about my university, there are only 3 in Canada which offer this course. So I had very limited option in that. For the backup, I would say that I chose some backup programs as well, like in database management or something like that. That sort of courses also I targeted. So just in case if I do not get admit in this particular course, I should be having 1 or 2 backup with myself. So applied in the backup colleges as well, and then these universities which were already offering this sort of course. So after going to the university websites, looking for their course requirements, how much IELTS scores they require, how much percentage of graduation they require, the work experience, everything which is there in criteria, I got through that, and then I decided and shortlisted the course and the university respectively. And then I went for my IELTS examination. I scored good. It was 7.5 overall. And when the application forms came, then I applied for the universities.
Great. All right. So my question here will be, you have seen a lot of company websites, not company, I mean university websites, and everything else. Did you also talk to your peers in terms of understanding how, if you want to shift to Canada, what are the things that you need to keep in mind? Any peer-to-peer conversation you had?
Yeah, I will say that it's a very risky decision to someone to shift, to a completely different country and then start from a scratch. So you always have those questions in your mind.
Right.
So searching them on Google, reading about them on Quora, connecting people on LinkedIn. Apart from that, there are friends of friends who are currently living in Canada. So I talk to them, how are the employment changes there because of this COVID-19 situation and everything. Things have become very worse. So it's a very big decision to move at this point of time to, leave your job and start from scratch. So it was completely but very risky and confusing too, that is it a right decision or not to go for it right now. I can wait 1 or 2 years. There were many questions in my mind, but then I talked to people who are currently living there, my friends who have completed their post-grad just few months back. So I talked to them, then they assured me that this is not like that. Things are totally depends upon your skills, how skilled you are, how skillfully you are doing your works, how many certificates you have done. So these are the things which are the most mattered and valued. So just give your best and go for it. So yeah, that's how I got that confidence that I can do. If they can do, then I can do too.
Super. Excellent. Okay, so since we spoke about the pandemic, my next question will be, did the pandemic somehow affect your course structure in terms of the instruction delivery module that your institute will be using?
Okay, so initially they communicated that the course structure will be hybrid. Some of the courses will be given in person and some in virtual mode. But now keeping things in mind, and especially for Canada, there are travel restrictions. The flights are banned still now for the direct flights. Indirect flights are still on, but direct flights are suspended. And this lockdown thing in India, the visa work process is really slow. The centers were closed. They opened this month only. So now what they have done is for this term, like this term which will be starting in September to December. So now all the courses which are being offered are in virtual mode only. They were previously in person, but now in virtual itself. So the mode of education will be virtual. If people do not get visa on time, so they will be studying from India or their base location, wherever they are.
But any idea how long this is going to continue in terms of when you can physically be present there?
Okay, if I talk about the current scenario, there are students who are flying to Canada via indirect routes, but they are slightly risky because in the transit locations they are being, tested, and if people are getting positive symptoms for corona, they have to quarantine there. So this is kind of very risky. They are not being allowed to travel to Canada after that if they are being symptomatic to this. So I would suggest this is very risky, but the current news is like the travel restrictions will be till this month only. From August, they will be starting the direct route flight. So this will be easier for students to, move. But then the second factor is visa. Visa is being processed really slow. I applied my visa in May, and my review of the file has not been started yet. So I don't know how much time they're going to take for that until I have to study from here itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so your course, you said it's supposed to start from September, right?
September, yeah.
So once your visa is done, how long do you think, any tentative timeline in terms of anything you will be able to physically travel?
Okay, so if my visa is in my hand and if flight suspension has been lifted, then keeping the mandatory quarantine which Canadian government has applied,
right?
Like there is mandatory 15 days of quarantine plan for those. Now they have given the exemption to people who are fully vaccinated, and vaccine should be authorized by the Canadian government. For example, they are list of 5, like AstraZeneca, one is Pfizer, Johnson, and one more is there. So if you are vaccinated with those authorized vaccines, then only you are exempted from their 14 days quarantine plan. Otherwise, you have to, arrive there, then your test will be conducted, then there will be a mandatory 14 days of quarantine that you need to plan by yourself. After that, only you will be, free to move and go to your universities or colleges. So in my case, I am vaccinated. I'm partially vaccinated at the moment with the Covishield, which is approved by Canadian government. So Indian government has given this rule: if people are going for their studies or for their work, they have their international travels planned. So for Covishield, for every other people, the timeline is for like 3 months. But if you have international travel, you can get your second dose after 28 days. So by showing your documents and everything that you have your travel plan, etc. So you can get vaccinated. So by next week or so, I'll get my second dose and I'll be fully vaccinated. And if I travel, I'll be exempted from this quarantine, the mandatory quarantine thing there. My pre-arrival test will be there, then arrival test will be there. If I get negative results, I'll be just like free to go anywhere. No quarantine thing. So this is how it is lined up. Yeah.
Great. Okay. And so once you travel there, Monica, what are your accommodation plans? How do you plan to manage that?
Okay, so when you get into a university or a college, you find people who are in your course itself and going with you from India. There are many students groups which are being formed. So I have contacted many other people as well who will be traveling with me. So we have contacted each other, and there are websites where you can find your accommodation, but some fraud things are also there, so you cannot blindly believe and give them money and book your accommodation. So to avoid that thing, what I have decided is like me along with other 3 girls will be moving to Canada, and we will book the Airbnb for like 7 days, and in that time period we'll be we already have shortlisted the accommodation areas, the areas where we want to go, and the properties we already have been looking on those websites. So what we will do, while that 7 days of period, we will visit those properties, and if we find them good, we will pay the money and book that property for the next, whatever time we want to. So this is my plan, is to avoid any sort of fraud or anything. I'll go for an Airbnb first, and then I'll move to my final property.
And these properties that you'll be looking at, how will you figure them out?
Okay, so there are many Facebook groups where we are finding those properties, and there are many websites. For Canada, it is kijiji.ca, where they upload the properties which are being offered on rent, on lease, and many sort of, search criteria criteria are there. You can find out what is more suitable to you. So we are that way we are shortlisting, and they also offer the virtual tour. So we are also, looking for the properties via the Zoom call and the pictures they are uploading. So that is how we are being figured out about that.
Okay, all right. So you also just spoke about your vaccination, and you will be completing your both the jabs by next week. You said, right?
Next week,
So did you find any challenge? Did you face any challenge in getting your slots done and everything?
It was very challenging. Actually, initially on Coben app, people were not getting slots at all. And my company, Accenture, with which I'm working, they also had their, vaccination camps and everything. But because my job location and my current base location is different, so I had to travel in that situation to get vaccinated. But I waited for that time to get slots, so getting slots was a big deal. I tried every day, because there was this 3 month of gap. If I do not get on time, then I will not be vaccinated. Till then, the government did not, given this rule that you will be vaccinated after 28 days if you have international travel, so something like that. So it was not like that before. So it was, very hectic to get a slot and get vaccinated on time.
So maybe we can, kind of tell our student audience that if they're planning to travel abroad, they should book their slots well in advance so that they can
definitely
get rid
and
of these
also
challenges.
And also with all those vaccines which are authorized by the countries they are going to, like Covaxin is not authorized. So people who are vaccinated with Covaxin, they have to go to Canada and being quarantined for 15 days. They have to pay for that quarantine period, right? And they again need to get vaccinated there with the authorized vaccinations. So this is how, so you also, check the list which are approved or not by the countries you are looking for.
Absolutely. Correct. Yeah. All right. So my next question will be, so since you are a student who's going to travel very soon, any important things that a student should keep in mind while traveling to Canada at this period of time?
Okay, so currently, if I talk about this particular COVID-19 situation, the first and foremost thing which come into my mind is the financial support. Because if I talk about the employment rates there, the current part-time jobs which are being offered are less in number due to the lockdown situation. Only the necessary services are being running in every other country, not in just India, in Canada itself, and in other country too. So you should have those enough funds that you can live there properly without any mental stress. Because if you do not get your part-time job, you have to go for your studies. If you are taking loan and loan amount is also high, your partial interest will start, and then that somehow gives stress to you. So you should have those finances with yourself to completely support yourself in other country if you do not have any job. So this is the only thing I want to tell here.
Very important, and thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm sure since after 2018 you have been working for so long, you will not have an experience of taking online classes before. So any anticipations in terms of how it's going to be, or any plans that you have made in terms of how you're going to make the most use of that kind of a class?
Okay. So if I already mentioned that my classes will be virtual itself. There will not be any in-person for this term, at least. There is no such in-person classes scheduled. So in that period of time, as you mentioned, that I do not have any sort of, experience of attending the online classes or something. But it will be difficult at the moment when I'll start. But I think with the time, things will smoothen and I'll get, used to it. And if you are not going to your university or college, your transit time is, your transporting time is also being saved here. So you can utilize that time in your assignments and everything. So I think
you'll be able to manage it.
Yeah.
Super. Okay. So my next question will be, Monica, how did you research and decide on your education financing partner, and how has your experience been in terms of getting your finances sorted for your education?
Okay, so to start that, very big thanks to Avance for this. My process was really, really fast and smooth. I was dealing with other lenders too, but there was a timeline for submitting my visa. And for visa submission, I needed my, fees paid to the university and my GIC transfer. So it was very, that time was very stressful for me because the other lending partners were, was not able to sanction my amount on time. Then I got advance contact from some of my friend. He told me that you can try, they can also, help you. So I started talking to one of your executives for my loan, and they, reviewed all my profile and documents. And like within 7 days, they gave me the decision that your loan is approved. And then I paid my, fees, the processing fees. Then the entire process, I think, took me around 10 to 15 days only. That's it. Despite from this, the executive was very, very supportive for everything. He was, because things were virtual that time as well. I need to sign there, here, those formalities, this formality. So he was very helpful, helped me out in complete process. So this was very smooth.
So I can understand that peer-to-peer conversation was something that helped to understand about advanced financial services, and that's how you applied.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. And my last question here will be, Monica, a piece of advice that you would want to share with our student fraternity who are actually currently planning to pursue their higher education.
Okay. So a student should always keep many factors into the consideration, positive points, negative points, everything. Okay. When you move to another country, you will feel homesick. You should be, confident at every point of time. Whenever you take decisions, negative thoughts would always be there in your mind, but you should always be, think positive. Like, this will take place somehow. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. This attitude will help you to achieve whatever you are, thinking at this point of time. Research well. Do not rely on any of the consultant. Their information is not 100% correct. You should research by yourself about the universities, about the courses. The consultants take money and then they give you the, whatever they have in their hand. They are not going to work for yourself. You have to do it by yourself. So always rely on yourself, not to anyone. You can consult people who are already there, or you can talk to the alumni who were graduated from the universities or colleges you are targeting for, to get the better idea of the ground reality. They are the only ones who are going to give you that, not Google, not anything. The one who already have experienced that thing will give you the actual reality. So research as much as you can. That's it.
Perfect. Anything else that you would want to add on to the entire conversation that we had?
Okay, so nothing much, I would say. Just all the best to all the future students. And that's it.
Perfect. It was great talking to you, Monica. And we wish you all the best. Wish you all the best. I hope you travel to Canada really soon and all these things should just vanish ASAP.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.